Good morning, everybody. Ooh, welcome in. Let me just get myself comfortable. Welcome into Spirit of Life Alchemy. Today is Friday, the 30th of July. Sorry, no, it's the song. Blah, blah, blah. Rewind that. Friday, the 29th of July, 2022. How did everyone survive yesterday's very fiery and energetic new moon in Leo? A lot of work doing their spiritual big jobs. There's a lot going on. Hope you all had a fantastic day with it though, and it wasn't too challenging. Personally, I'm feeling really fired up by it. It's like it seems to have lit the rocket below me. So hurrah! Anyway, so today we've got some astrology. The moon is going to be in Leo all day. It's going to form a trine with Jupiter and then with Chiron, both in Aries. Jupiter now going retrograde. And then it's going to form a square with Mars and Uranus in Taurus. Say I'm okay for after yesterday's. My brain's not quite here, as you can tell, but never mind. So that's the astrology for today. So we may find ourselves fired up around our beliefs or around the truth, about healing old emotional wounds as they come up. But we could find it difficulty to take innovative actions, when that could result possibly in feelings of chaos and anger and frustration. My advice would be to just try and keep yourself grounded and connected to earth, to nature, as much as possible. That always works for me. Let's do some cards and see what the Oracle and the Tarot have to say in support of today's energies for us. So we've got the Work Your Light cards. Let's shine some light on this. So what do we need to know for today? Friday the 29th of July 2022. Messages from Spirit, please, for the collective. What help, advice, support and guidance can Spirit give the collective to help us navigate today's energies for our highest and greatest good? What do we need to know? Friday the 29th of July 2022. Messages from Spirit. What do we need to know? Don't know where that came from. Let's see, what do we need to know? Itchy noses again. Finally, after all the no's, we have yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. That's a lovely energy coming out of making the new moon intentions yesterday. And then we've got align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? And share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution, expression. Okay, so following on from yesterday's new moon in Leo, which really I felt it as a time to say yes, and setting new intentions, that fire really sort of revving us up and things like that. We may find that there's part of our life that isn't aligned, and that could be that we're not speaking up, we're not sharing our voice, we're hiding still, and that could be down to things like in previous lives we've been persecuted for when we've spoken up, or when we've stood in the limelight or centre stage. It could be even our families kept us small. I know sort of my family always sort of shushing me and hushing me, and it helped to keep me very small. It took me a very long time to actually find myself again and be happy with standing in the limelight. and sharing my voice. And sort of now I do that, and it's like yes, yes, yes. So look, if there's something somewhere where there's something out of alignment, this is the moon in Leo trining Jupiter and Chiron in Aries. Seeing if just tune into yourself, see if something comes up that's showing you where sort of you're staying in your comfort zone, you're hiding, you want to say yes to something but you feel fearful of doing it. Okay, then go into that and see how you can turn it. Fear and emotions like that and hiding, we do it to keep us safe, and it often comes through in childhood, although it can be carried through from past lives as well, to avoid being persecuted either by parents or, you know, in past lives and things like that. We may have been persecuted as wise women or witches, or, you know, sort of for beliefs and things like that. There's lots of reasons, sexuality, there's lots of reasons why you could have been persecuted, and because of that it makes you keep yourself small. Now is the time to really sort of work with overcoming that so that you can move into your yes. The new moon yesterday in Leo was very much a new moon of setting intentions around saying yes to things and yes to where you want to go next. Big new bold beginnings, removing limitations and releasing things that are holding you back or have been holding you back that no longer serve you. So yeah, it's been it's like one of the steps that we're going through at the moment in these quite big energies, that is we're turning and moving into who we're meant to be and relinquishing the things that hold us back or have held us back. So I'm just going to send out healing energy to anybody that feels they want to do that, to support you in a fully protective bubble of light, keep you safe as you step into visibility or come out that cave, or whatever you feel you need to do. So anyway, let's do some tarot and see what the cards have to say. So what do we need to know for today, the 29th of July 2022? Here we are again at the end of the month. The end of another month. It just seems to be going so fast recently. It feels like life has speeded up loads and loads and loads. So what do we need to know from Spirit? What messages from Spirit for the collective? What help, advice, support and guidance can Spirit give the collective to help us navigate today's energies for our highest and greatest good? What do we need to know? Messages from Spirit, please, for the collective. Let's see what the messages are. Okay, so where we find ourselves, we've got the Five of Cups. We've got the Three of Swords. We have the Father of Wands. We have the Ace of Swords. And we have the Eight of Swords. We have the Chariot. We have the Five of Swords. And we have the Hierophant. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Wands and the Empress. And the Nine of Wands. And the Son of Swords. Okay, let's see what we've got. Okay. So where we find ourselves, how many fives? Got 1, 2 fives. Okay, right. and the Hierophant is number 5 as well. So it's all chaos and change today. And also, remember what I was saying yesterday in yesterday's readings about get excited, but remember there's no need to rush out and everything. We're in this pause phase of just considering everything, because we've got these big energies, these once in a lifetime energies happening over the weekend and going early into next week. So anyway, back to today, where we find ourselves, the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups is disappointment, regret, looking back into the past and wishing we could have done things differently, or that things could have happened differently, and generally wishing things were different. But it's a backwards looking card. We're not looking towards the forward to the future. We find ourselves looking back, and what we could be looking back to is old heartaches and emotional wounds. So these two really do sort of tell a story together of regret, of disappointment, of heartache and heartbreak. And this could be sort of where you're not aligned in your life. Okay. I was just looking at sometimes we say yes to things, but there's subconscious things going on that are actually screaming out to us, no, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Got to keep you safe. And prevent you from aligning. So yeah, the energy was really quite big yesterday, and you could be out of alignment with yourself because of it, leading to these emotions, but it can also be surfacing of those wounds as well. When we shine a light on something, then we bring it to the surface ready to be healed, and then we can go about doing the healing. The foundation below, we have the King of Wands here, this beautiful cobra, king cobra, and the lightning strike. And I'm just looking around the cards, and there's at least another 2 cards with lightning strikes. So what I'm getting is that we're in between this new moon place and the triple conjunction. I did look in my diary this morning when I was doing the astrology for today. It actually, from the UK, it actually happened just before 1 a.m. on Tuesday morning, the 2nd. That's when it's exactly in conjunction for us here. So look at your time zone and adjust accordingly to find out, for some people it will be happening on the 1st. But of course now, I think sort of yesterday at the full moon, it was only like 2 degrees out. Mars was only 2 degrees out. So, we're already feeling that ignition of that energy, and it's going to build up over today, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, hit on Tuesday, or possibly on Monday, depending where you are in the world. And then it will gradually fade away and wane until Mars is out of the influence of the conjunction. But yeah, the lightning strike in several of these cards is actually making me think that this reading, we're in that energy now. We've stepped into the void. We've stepped over the threshold into these energies, and we've just got to keep going forward in all our fear and our worry and whatever emotions you're going through. Feeling out of alignment, could be feeling vulnerable, out of your comfort zone. All sorts of emotions could be going on that are just making you feel uncomfortable. Okay, but we have a foundation of the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is, sort of connecting into your power, your authentic authority power of knowing who you are and not being afraid to stand in that energy. Okay, so we're giving ourselves firm foundations, taking hold of the power of fire. And then from above, as we do this, We've got more lightning strikes. We've got the Ace of Swords. Spirit gives us clarity, the gift of clarity, of new ideas coming through. Could be whispering messages in your ear. Oh, have you ever thought of this? What about doing that? What about this idea? Etc, etc. Or it could be loud and booming. It could be through conversations with other people. But there is new information coming through, clarity, truth being revealed even. So yeah, the potential for big change coming through. And then as we move on, what we have is the Eight of Swords. Now normally in the Eight of Swords we've got a blindfolded, bound figure surrounded by swords in the ground. And because she is blindfolded, she can't see that there's a way out. In this card, I am seeing this as slightly different. It's about being in that in-between stage when we're in the chrysalis. But to come out of the chrysalis, it requires a mindset change. It requires, you know, believing that you're powerful enough to do that. To break free. So for me, when I see this card, it's like it's a perfect moment of potential, and it may be over the next few days that we start getting our strength and things like that, and going, oh, actually, I feel a bit more comfortable in this than I did yesterday. Oh, I wonder if that might be a way forward. Oh, and suddenly, you know, it starts evolving over these next few days. The clarifiers, we have the Chariot. The Chariot is taking action, by making changes in your life by act of will. So deciding that you're strong enough to, so like lovely black crows just come and flown in and jumped onto the roof. Deciding that you're strong enough to do this, and then start wiggling your way out of the chrysalis to be reborn. Okay. A warning about self-sabotage. Always for me, generally, the Five of Swords is about self-sabotage. How we sabotage ourselves. This whole reading, this part of the reading, what we're coming from, the heartbreak and the emotional wounds and the disappointment and regret and everything, but we're being given an opportunity to show that we're stronger, to come out of the cave, to share our voice, to speak up or to become visible, even though we might be feeling really vulnerable. And the message is here not to sort of self-sabotage yourself doing that. And then we have the Hierophant. Again, more lightning in the card. So again, sudden breakthroughs and lightning strikes of intuition or inspiration or thoughts or something. Is that energy coming through? And here we have, I don't know if it's a crow or a raven. I always imagine it squawking, holding this key underneath it. And for me, it's reminding me that as we have our own keys, often the Hierophant, I've said before, is about external authority and the norm and the tradition and the societal structures and religious indoctrination and things like that. For me, I see it sort of from I suppose, a new perspective of being the bridge between the physical and the spiritual, to being the master of your own authentic authority, of standing in your own power and you have the key to unlock this in yourself. So yeah, it's not being held prisoner either by our own self and our own mindsets or belief systems and old stories and things like that, or by the external stuff in society. I've never been one to sort of follow society's rules. I'm 55 now, and I've been doing it for 40 odd years, of going my own way, and for me it's the only way. I really could not see myself actually being back in the box. My biggest problem has been the own boxes that I've put myself in, or that from my childhood or from past lives and timelines and things like that. And for me, it's been about overcoming those self-limiting beliefs, and breaking free of them. The outside stuff, the outside society stuff was never a problem for me. It was my own internal limitations, soul contracts that I agreed to come into this life with, undoing the patterns. I spent years and years and years doing family healing and healing ancestral lines and family lines and things like that. So, you know, it can be internal or external. Okay, so let's see what was in the cards underneath the reading. So this is the subconscious or the environment of the reading. So the first card we've got is the Seven of Wands. Shine your own light, be your own lantern, form your own boundaries, and, you know, defend yourself as and when you need. Okay, and again, this can be inner or outer stuff. We have the Empress combine with the Divine Feminine. Always combine with the Divine Feminine in my book. But yeah, the Empress card, the creativity and fertility and creating. What life do you want to create? Harness this energy, find your courage and step into it. And then we have the Nine of Wands, which was linking me to what I was saying about the Hierophant and about being that bridge between the physical and the spiritual, and stepping up and stepping out. It can also be about the balancing your internal strength against the external strengths. So again, coming back to this Seven of Wands, and having firm boundaries and standing up for yourself and defending yourself. When you're as equal to the energy that is coming from the outside, and you're meeting it on, you know, then, you know, you can't be overwhelmed by society, from, you know, whatever external authorities or whatever is on there. And again, it's bringing me back to this King of Wands, standing in your own power. And then we have the Son of Swords, or the Knight of Swords. Information coming in thick and fast. It seems to me that as we do the work down here, as we align ourselves and step into our courage, to go forward and to say yes and take those first steps, that first leap of faith or whatever it is, then the universe jumps in and gives us the information that we need, the clarity, the discernment, you know, whatever message is coming in that we need. Okay, so that's today's reading. I hope you found it useful. I hope it's resonated with you, either just in part or the whole thing. If it did, then please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. Help me grow the channel. If you'd like notifications of when I'm doing readings, then click on the wiggly bell. If you'd like a personal reading from me, then email me at the email address below this video in the descriptions box. Have a wonderful day, and until tomorrow, thank you for watching.